But we're going to begin this debate, this candidate forum, by talking a little bit about some of the accusations that are out there, some of the ugly charges that are out there, some of the maybe negative stereotypes, and I'd like you to address those. Congressman Nolan, this isn't necessarily me talking, but they say you're as far left as the Tea Partiers are right. You're a has-been, an enemy of the Second Amendment, and you don't even know how to hold a gun safely. Sir, how do you respond to critics who say you've been wrong for the 8th District?
Well, I'm not sure where to begin. There have been so many charges and allegations.
So many
here.
insults, I know.
Yeah. There's 191 members of the Democratic caucus, and about 100 of them are judged to be considerably more liberal than I am. So the fact is, I'm a moderate, and I do have a right-wing Tea Party art on my I guess he's on your right, okay? He's on my left. And I guess I got someone probably a little more to the left to me on my right, or your left. But I'm just not sure where to go here. But let's just take the F rating from the NRA. The NRA is primarily financed by gun manufacturers and gun salespeople, like yourself, Stewart. They're interested in primarily trying to sell guns. And that's all right. I mean, they've got a right to do that. But it's never been more clear that someone like myself supports the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. Some of my most joyful moments and memorable moments in life have been with a gun in my hand. Out hunting with my dad last weekend. My wife Mary and I are out duck hunting with our grandson. You know, my wife and I were married 30 years ago. First present I bought for her on her birthday, her first birthday, was a 20-gauge shotgun. And I don't mind telling you, she was thrilled to have it, but she did look a little disappointed. You know, I think she was kind of hoping for something a little more romantic. So on her second birthday, I bought her a 30-06 with a scope on it. Stewart, I've been buying my guns and ammunition, and my family I have from your dad and your granddaddy's store all of our life. And the fact is, I support the Second Amendment for hunting, for personal protection, for sport shooting. It's a fundamental basic right. But that doesn't mean we can't have some gun safety like background checks. I mean, do you support selling guns to people who have been found to be criminally insane or terrorist or convicted felons?
We'll get to the gun issue in just a bit. Your time is up, I'm sorry to say. Mr. Mills, the knock against you, millionaire partier, doesn't know how the challenges faced by most Americans. You support tax breaks for the rich at the expense of the middle class. How do you respond to critics who say you won't work for 8th District?
Well, I've worked hard all my life, and in our business, we didn't have a choice. It was something we did at a very young age. My father grew up during the Great Depression, and work was not only a necessity but a virtue. I know how to work hard, but I've also had a very joyful life. But, you know, we live in a work hard, play hard part of Minnesota. And, you know, if they want to pick on my hair, well, it shows that they don't want to talk about the issues. And there are things that are facing our part of Minnesota. And the issues are, it's health care. It's Obamacare. It's our Second Amendment rights, which we'll talk about later. Yes. It's the fact that Rick Nolan voted for a job-killing carbon tax, a tax on energy that would absolutely strangle our part of Minnesota economically. And it's also about the fact, and I'm endorsed by the Farm Bureau, it's about the fact that Representative Nolan voted in favor of the waters, the EPA's Waters of the U.S. rule. You know, I'd love to talk about this issues, not about my hair and the fact that my family, myself included, because a family business isn't about one person or one generation, it's about the entire family, and even family farms. That applies to family farms as well. We work hard, we reinvest back in our businesses, and that grows jobs and sustains the jobs that we have. But you know what? They want to attack a business. Again, we're not publicly traded. There's no venture capital money. There's no private equity money. It's a family business like any other. And if they want to attack me and my family for the success and the jobs that we've created, well, then that's their message. Their message is picking on my hair.
I forgot to ask about your hair. Thank you for bringing it up. Mr. Sandman, you have even longer hair.
Yes, I do.
I think, what do you say to critics who accuse you of just being a one-issue candidate, and it's all environment, anti-mining, and then that's about it.
Well, it's a very big issue, and critics will call me a lot of different things. But I look, if we don't have water, we don't have life. When I was a veteran and in service, I had to stand up in front of a bunch of people, and I had to raise my hand, and I took that oath to protect this country from foreign and domestic. That means a lot to me, because I was never released from that oath. Therefore, I see what's happening up there and proposed what's going to happen up there on the Iron Range as a direct attack on America. They'll come in, they'll do their processing and extracting, but then when that's done, they pack up and leave. They don't care about the people, they don't care about the mining, they don't care about the environment. We do not have the science to clean up a spill. If you look at history of that type of mining, throughout the world, there's never been a safe one. And for the life of me, I cannot understand how 200 to 500 jobs are worth our future. Once that stuff gets into the water, there's no guarantee. It'll destroy our tourism, which brings in northern Minnesota about $200 to $800 million per year. How many jobs will be lost when it leaks? How many? Doesn't matter which party you are, but we have to do the right thing. Both my opponents here say something completely different. Short term. I don't. I look for a long term. We need that here in northern Minnesota. We need someone looking after our children and after our future generations. It may not happen in our time, but 20, 30 years down the road, it will.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sandman. We'll get back to the mining issue in a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to offer each of the candidates a chance for a 1-minute rebuttal, up to 1 minute if they want it, on these negative type stereotypes and their responses to it. Congressman Nolan, would you like 1 more minute?
Yeah, I would. Mr. Mills says there's never been a federal government program that worked. Stewart, I submit you might want to take a look at Social Security. You might want to take a look at Medicare, and I know your party platform calls for privatizing and abolishing both of them. Most people will agree they've worked quite well. With regard to clean air, clean water, I remember when they had to haul clean water, drinking water, into Duluth because the water was so polluted. I remember when the lakes and rivers were so polluted that they were catching on fire and that acid rain was destroying our forests and lakes. I don't apologize for supporting clean water and clean air. I've got as good an environmental record as you'll find of anyone in the country, and I don't apologize for that. And as for the ACA, my goodness, people with cancer and heart disease and Parkinson's are now able to get affordable insurance because of that. People are able to keep their kids on their insurance. People are protected from bankruptcy. Women are not charged more for the same policy that a man is charged for. You really oppose those things and want to repeal all those important advancements? Of course there's things that needed to be changed in the Affordable Care Act, but it's done a lot of good for a lot of people. And I've heard you say that there are not many people who suffer those circumstances. Well, I'm here to tell you there are a lot of people who suffer those circumstances and are grateful for the Affordable Care Act.
Thank you very much, Congressman. Mr. Mills, 1 minute.
Yes, just to correct a couple things. First of all, I never said there aren't many people that have pre-existing conditions. What I said is that as plan administrator, there are a few people that I've run across that are not covered by HIPAA, which allows you to go from your existing plan to another plan without having to worry about pre-existing conditions. Also, I never said that there was a federal government program that never worked.
You just said it a minute ago.
Hold on. May I have some time, sir?
Sure.
What I said was whenever government has taken over the production of a product, good, or service, Costs have gone up and quality's gone down. I'm not talking about Social Security and Medicare. In the past, you have said that I wanted to abolish Social Security. That's absolutely not true. And you've also said that I want to turn Medicare into a voucher system. Not true. And I challenge you to substantiate those remarks without editing my words together out of context.
Well, thank you for the challenge. The Libertarian Party, to which you are...
Congressman, can we give Mr. Sandman a turn first, please?
Okay.
Well, one of the
Thank you.
things is that when you talk about affordable health care, we need to make it affordable. We need to make it affordable. That bill needs to be taken out, and we don't have to start from the bottom up again, but we need to pull the best parts out of there and make it affordable. If you're a single mother with 2 children or 3 children, you cannot afford what is being offered out there now. Especially if you have a low-paying job, minimum wage job, it needs to be what it says, affordable for everyone.
Very good. Thank you, Roger.